Right, so in today's video, it's only going to be a short one. I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can connect one water butt to another just using a simple water butt connector kit. You can see that on this side we've got this one connected up to the downpipe coming from the guttering from the roof, and with this being 210 litres, it's always nice to have a little bit extra, giving us a nice total of 420 altogether with a second one, particularly now during, you know, a heat wave or a hose pipe ban. So in this water butt connector kit comes with just some basic things that you need. First of all, you just got your tube fella, which is going to be there to connect both of them together. We can cut this to size with a knife, nice and easy. We also have two of these little fellas. One's going to go into this one, one's going to go into the other, and we have a rubber washer as well to get us a nice, lovely seal on that so we don't get any leakage. And finally got this little screw fella to go right on the back to keep everything nice and secure. Now, if you did watch the video where I installed this one, you'll know that I used a 20mm spade bit to drill a hole into the side to get the little tube fella thing to go through, because 20mm was what it said on the website where I ordered the kit from. However, 20mm is definitely nowhere near big enough to make the hole the correct size, so you're going to be ideally going to be having to go with something like a 22, 23mm, something like that, to be able to get the hole the perfect size. However, I'm going to use this today, and I'm going to use the trusty knife as well, just to make the hole a little bit bigger. Do not panic about getting this hole completely perfect, because it really doesn't need to be. Once you've got the little tube thing going through, the water's falling down into it. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. It's not going to leak. You're going to be fine. No one's going to die. We'll make it work. So let's move this second fella out the way for a second whilst we drill a hole into this one. Now, annoyingly, I've just installed this thinking the camera was recording, which it wasn't. So let's do the exact same thing, because it's the same process anyway, to the second water butt, and you'll see exactly how we've installed this one onto here. Now we'll tip that plastic piece out in a second. Any of these little straggly fellas we're going to want to get rid of as many as we can. Make sure we'll try best not to let them drop on into the inside. We'll empty the other ones out in a moment. Then we're just going to want to use our knife to make this slightly bigger, just to make sure this part of the connector can fit on in the inside. So there we go, that's going to be absolutely fine. We'll be able to screw that one in there nice and tight. Got a rubber washer we're going to put over this part of the connector. It's just going to make a nice watertight seal on the outside, and particularly where this is all jagged and sharp here, what it'll mean is that when the water does come to this level, it's not going to be able to leak out down the side of the water butt. The rubber washer is going to stop that from happening. And we've got the last part of the connector which goes on the inside. And again, because this has got quite a wide rim on it, what it's going to do is cover any of those imperfections from the jagged cuts we've just made with the knife. I mean, the right size spade bit's ideal, but what's the point in going out and spending another £5 when you just use what you've got at home to make it work? It's a water, but we're not really building a house, are we? No one's going to die. Place this fella back on top again with the cut out to the base, enabling there to be plenty of space there for the tap of the water butt. Oh, what I didn't do before, and I'll do now, is tip it upside down, get rid of any of those small pieces of plastic which may have fell inside it before when we were drilling and putting the hole. And now it's just a case of cutting this pipe to size, just to make sure it fits for both parts. You'd rather cut it a bit bigger to begin with than too short, just to make sure you've got plenty. A tad too big maybe, let's just cut a tiny extra piece off it. There we go. There we go, that's nice and secure like that. Make sure that we just reconnect the pipe on this side, and Bob's your uncle. There we go, we've got two water butts now connected together, doubling the amount of water we can collect, and this is going to give us now the perfect amount of water to do everything in the garden. We have a 100 litre water butt over there, and that's usually enough to water the plants throughout the summer. However, these two fellas, as much as we're going to be using them for some of the plants around the garden, the main aim of having these two in such a small garden is to be able to water the lawns. I'm going to be getting a pump in the next few weeks to drop down into this, and that way I can water the lawn without having to use the tap. Better for the environment, less water waste, a low water bill, and just taking from nature what would traditionally just go down the gutter. When I did the 100 litre one the other year, I think it took 3 days for it to be full. We've got 400 litres here, so it might be a few weeks. We might need a few heavy rainfalls to make it happen, but yeah, happy days. So if you've enjoyed today's video, or at least found it useful showing you how to do something like this yourself, then consider giving the video a like. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. We've got loads of stuff like a whole garden renovation series. We've got loads of lawn renovation videos and lawn care tip videos. So if that sort of thing takes your fancy, then consider subscribing. If you haven't already, the TikTok is Novice Gardener Official. The Instagram is Novice Gardener YT. The link to that is in the description below. And finally, thanks for watching.